He awoke with a start, heart pounding in his chest, the cold earth beneath him unfamiliar and damp. Darkness surrounded him, thick and oppressive, the kind that swallowed every sound except his own ragged breathing. He tried to gather his thoughts, but they were scattered, lost in the fog of confusion and fear. Where was he? How had he gotten here? His legs trembled as he forced himself to stand, the weight of an unknown terror pressing down on him. Somewhere in the depths of the trees, he could hear it. Something was following him. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel and welcome to the last case of John Morley. Time buries all truths beneath shadows, but the past always has a way of clawing its way back to the surface, demanding to be heard, no matter the cost.
Where am I?
Good question. Looks gorgeous. Wouldn't want to be lost there, though.
I know it's following me. I can feel it.
Can we jump? Okay. Now where to? Not that way. Oh, we can run. Nice. At least we're now on the right track with all the lamps.
That sound. It's coming from the river.
Tell me that's not gorgeous scenery, though. Right, let's not get distracted this early on.
If it catches me, it will show no mercy.
What is chasing us?
I know it's hidden somewhere in this forest. I should be able to see its light soon. At
Oh,
last,
nice.
I can gather my strength and plan how to face that monstrous thing.
Not what I was expected from this game, to be honest. A monster. That got me. In more ways than one. The piercing light of the morning sun stirred John from his restless sleep. For months, strange nightmares had plagued him, and even the strongest sedatives couldn't dull the weird visions that haunted his mind. Another day in this wretched hospital. His wounds still ached, but he felt no regret. Despite the accident, he'd brought the culprit of these ghastly crimes to justice. After all, isn't that the duty of any good private detective?
The name's John Morley, private detective, and today is a momentous day. After enduring the most exquisite tortures at the hands of those blasted nurses, and being pumped full of enough medicine to fell an ox, today I'm finally free. Who would have thought that the case of the Red Shoes murder would end the way it did? A stormy night, soaked to the skin, wrestling that brainless killer on a rooftop. Then a slip and a 5-story plunge.
It appears you're awake at last. We had considerable difficulty rousing you earlier this morning. so I deemed it best to let you rest a while longer. I bring you good news. The latest test results are favourable, and the doctor has authorised your discharge. You are now officially ready to go. I have placed your belongings on the table. Oh, and a lady stopped by this morning with some clothes from the dry cleaner.
Ooh. Clothes and the woman.
A woman brought my clothes from the dry cleaner. Was it Penny?
I couldn't say. She arrived quite early, before my shift began. I've placed the garments in the wardrobe to keep them from getting wrinkled.
My belongings? I thought everything was already in the room.
There are a few valuables and some coins we kept for safekeeping. They are in the box on the table.
I've been having nightmares.
The doctor has prescribed some medication that should help address any residual effects. This should assist in alleviating your nightmares.
Okay, results in discharge then.
So I'm better now.
Yes, you are much improved. Both your physical and psychological assessments have been satisfactory, and there are no impediments to your returning to your normal life. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have other patients to attend to. I wish you all the best.
Thank you. New key. Clue unlocked. Okay. Ooh.
That's me, the bloodhound Morley. Story of my life. Nearly broke. Blimey, it's nearly noon. I must have lost track of time in those blasted nightmares.
Ooh.
Well-structured shop. These looks brand new. I usually use the Windsor knot. I should get myself a pair of derbies. Or brogues. They're much more comfortable. So the mystery woman who took my clothes to the cleaners was Penny after all. Seems she's still got a soft spot for me. Could there be a chance I might win her over?
Final review and conclusions. The patient has demonstrated satisfactory improvement in all preoperative objectives. The surgical procedure conducted under protocol ETD-03 has been deemed successful in all respects. Upon completion of final tests and provided that the patient reports feeling physical and mentally prepared, medical discharge is advised. No post-operative complications are anticipated. Continued observation during recovery is recommended to ensure patient stability. Okay. 1945. Monday.
Trench coat and fedora hat. Every detective's must have.
I think we've got everything. Shall we?
I'm not ready to leave just yet.
Oh.
I better get dressed. The hospital gown that ties in the back doesn't exactly scream professional.
A minute, what was her name? Beth Kelly, 32. Right, how do I get dressed? I assumed we put everything on when we went to the wardrobe, to be honest, but...
Blimey, what a fool I took onto that rain-soaked pavement. And to top it off, with that downpour, I ruined my best suit. But, well, that's all water under the bridge now. Quite literally. There's notes from Penny, my secretary. She must have left it here a few days ago, while I was still under observation.
John, I'm awfully sorry, but I just can't keep going like this. You've been laid up in that hospital for ages, and I've been left skint with no wages coming in for months now. Before, with the state you were in, I couldn't bring myself to say anything. I thought it best to let you get better in peace, but the other day, Dr. Fauna rang and said they were finally going to let you out, so I figured it was time to tell you. I haven't been to the office in a month, and believe me, I'll miss Hawthorne Street and that old mouldy brick building of ours. But I've got to move on, and you know even before the accident you still owed me 3 months' pay. Peter and I are planning to get married, and I need some stability. Uh-oh. I hope you understand. I've left my key under the doormat. I've paid the water and electric bills, so those are in your hands now. Goodbye, John. I wish you all the luck in the world. P.S. A few days ago, an older woman came by asking for you. I told her you might be back in the office this afternoon. She seemed quite eager to have a word with you, Penny.
Damn it, Penny.
Yeah.
I don't blame her, though. I'm a right mess. I've managed to lose the only two things that kept me grounded. Her sound advice, always spot on, and the faint hope that she might dump Peter and give me a chance.
Not what I was expecting. Gonna take the pills? No? Okay, how do we get changed? Oh. Oh. Okay, well, I don't need to get changed. Confusing.
I'd better hurry up.
As
Just
anything?
like Penny says in her note, I might have a new client this afternoon. And with the way things are going, I can't afford to let that slip away. All right, let's get moving. Today's the first day of the rest of my life.
At last, back to the streets and the cold comforts of foggy old London. The chimneys filled the air with familiar tang of coal dust, while the rhythmic hymn of the small industries in Whitechapel, Stepney and Southwark rang in his ears like a symphony. Soon he'd be seated in his cluttered, dusty office once more, ready for the next case, perhaps finishing off some forgotten bottle of whiskey tucked away in a drawer and mourning the irreplaceable loss of his assistant Penny.
Back again. Feels like stepping into a forgotten paradise.
Any mail? No. Any flashlights? Okay.
Everything has got that same old charm, and yet feels oddly new.
I'm guessing it's this door. The one with the window.
This stint's given me a bit of a new outlook. Maybe I'll take it a shade easier from now on. Sticking to cases that don't demand a trip to the morgue.
Okay.
Here they are. Penny's keys. Just like it says in her note. Penny's desk. I ought to give her a ring and try to sweet talk her into coming back. If this new client brings in some decent dough, maybe I could settle what I owe her and use a little charm to win her over. So this is Peter. That smug grin's got "punch me" written all over it.
Not a fan, are we?
My files. Cases, clients, debts. Too many debts. Far too many.
What is that doing
The
there?
umbrella with a bullet hole. Souvenir from the marksman case. Nearly lost my hat on that one. This case is worth its weight in gold. Everything you need for a portable lab. This one's a favorite. The jealous lover solved everything with a few blows from an ashtray. Brutal, but effective. The case of the Red Shoes murder. One of the most complicated I've faced. Finally. Case closed. My desk, strangely tidy. Normally it's buried under papers, notes, bits of evidence. Penny must have wanted to leave everything spick and span before she walked out on me. Another one of my cards. But this one has my last name circled. The drawer. It's locked. But there doesn't seem to be a keyhole. Amazing how this little gadget can reveal the devil in the details.
I can't even see an R. Oh, there we go. Voila. Oh, wow.
My Smith & Wesson. In perfect condition. You never know when it'll come in handy.
Why can't I pick that up? Hello? Glitch. There we
The
go.
Scarlet Page. I trust Penny didn't go snooping through my things while I was away.
Hello.
Oh, my apologies, madam. I didn't hear you come in. I was a bit distracted.
Good afternoon, Mr. Morley. I trust your assistant informed you of my visit as promised.
My apologies. I was rather engrossed and didn't notice your arrival. To whom do I owe the honour of this meeting?
Lady Margaret Fordside, the 4th Countess of Bloomsbury.
Lady Margaret, could you tell me what brings you here today? How can I assist you?
I shall endeavour to be as candid as possible. 20 years ago, when my daughter was just 18, she was brutally murdered. It happened at our family estate, Bloomsbury Manor. Someone slipped into the house unnoticed, and upon reaching her room, delivered 5 fatal stab wounds to her chest, lungs, and heart. The police, eager to close the case, hastily blamed and condemned 2 violent thieves who clearly had nothing to do with her death. The investigation was closed, and justice was never served. I am prepared to offer you £30,000 if you take on this case, and a further £30,000 if you can solve it and bring the true killer to light. Tell me, Mr. Morley, will you accept this case?
I understand your distress, Lady Fordside. But before I commit to anything, might I trouble you with a few questions?
By all means, Mr. Morley. Ask whatever you must.
What makes you so sure they're the wrong men?
Tell me about the men the police arrested. Why are you so certain they weren't guilty?
2 days after the murder, the police arrested a pair of violent thieves who were terrorizing the county at the time. Though they swore their innocence in my daughter Elodie's death, their criminal record completely undermined their defense. Seizing the opportunity, the police locked them away for their other crimes, and the case was closed. But what has always struck me as suspicious is that nothing was stolen on the night my Elodie was killed. If those thieves were truly the culprits, why would they murder her and then leave without taking a single piece of silver? It doesn't add up, Mr. Morley.
Why now?
A case that's been cold for 20 years. You certainly don't make it easy for me, Lady Margaret. What made you decide to seek out a detective now?
For over 2 decades, I've fought tirelessly to have the case reopened, to prove that the real murderer escaped justice. But all in vain. Neither solicitors nor well-meaning police friends, nor even journalists hungry for a dark story have managed to uncover anything. Then one day, I read about your success in solving the case of the Red Shoes killer. Regrettably, I also learned of the unfortunate incident that left you hospitalized with grievous injuries. On the advice of your secretary, Miss Penny, I waited patiently for your recovery. And now, here I am.
Any witnesses?
Tell me, were there any witnesses? Did anyone see or hear anything?
It happened at midnight. The house was practically empty at the time, with only a few servants and a guest who was sleeping in the west wing. I was the only one who might have heard something, as my room was next to hers. Unfortunately, I had taken a sleeping draught and fell into a deep slumber. It is a decision I shall regret for the rest of my days.
Tell me about Bloomsbury Manor. Do you still reside there?
After Elodie's death, I abandoned the estate. I couldn't bear to remain there, to live within those walls. Even now, when I visit the manor, it still feels as though I can hear her footsteps echoing through the halls, her voice humming that old melody, the delusions of an old woman who has mourned her daughter for far too long, Mr. Morley. No mother should ever have to bury her child. Should you accept the case, Bloomsbury Manor would likely be the best place to begin the investigation. I shall not impede your work, as I now reside at Bedford Square, in the heart of the city.
Well, I believe I have all the information I need to get started. I accept the case, and will begin the investigation immediately.
I'm pleased to hear that. My butler will bring you the £30,000 tomorrow morning. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have matters to attend to. Once you uncover the culprit, contact me at once, and I shall promptly deliver the remaining £30,000. Please, Mr. Morley, unravel this harrowing mystery that has tormented me for so long.
The visit from Countess Margaret Forsyth was just what John needed. A case with all the right ingredients to stir his detective's instincts. An unsolved murder from 20 years ago, abandoned by the police in their incompetence, and a generous reward awaiting at the end. What more could a man want on his first day back? The journey to Bloomsbury Manor passed without incident, though the rough and neglected road, ravaged by years of rain and wind, made for an uncomfortable ride. He arrived under the cover of night. The place was quiet, like the ruins of an old tomb, forgotten and forsaken.
As I made my way through the dense forest path, a haunting silence enveloped the air. It was as though the very night of the crime still lingered here, shrouded in an eerie calm. The manor stood before me, its facade as inscrutable as the shadows that danced in the moonlight. Every step I took felt like a step deeper into the heart of a mystery that refused to be forgotten.
Right, let's head inside. If we can. There we go. I had a feeling we were going to get locked out, to be honest. I'm hoping we have the keys and it's not just left unlocked.
Not a sound. The stillness feels heavy, like it's hiding something.
At Westland Asylum, we believe that the path to recovery begins with compassion, understanding, and the most advanced techniques of mental health care. Our institution offers a tranquil haven for those seeking respite from the trials of the mind. Interesting. I write to you on behalf of the Westland Society of Fine Arts regarding the exhibition currently on display at our gallery, which features several works by your daughter, Miss Elodie Fortside. While we appreciate that remarkable talent and artistry evident in her work, it is with great regret that we must inform you of a matter of concern. Several of the Society's patrons, particularly among the more sensitive members, have found Miss Fortside's paintings to be of a highly disturbing nature. Interesting. We've received numerous complaints, with mothers remarking that the artwork has caused distress to their children, and some ladies reporting feelings of unease. There is a growing sentiment that the pieces are unsuitable for public exhibition, particularly in a space frequented by young and impressionable minds. It is with the utmost respect and consideration that we kindly request your ladyship to arrange for the removal of Miss Fortside's paintings from the current display. We understand this may cause disappointment, but we feel it's necessary to preserve the decorum and sensibilities of our gallery's visitors. We would be honoured to work with you in finding a more appropriate venue to exhibit Miss Fortside's art, where her unique vision can be appreciated by a more discerning and prepared audience. We trust you understand our position.
It seems Elodie had a passion for art, but her style wasn't exactly well received. Disturbing from the looks of it. This painting, it's rather grim. There's something deeply unsettling about it, almost like it carries a shadow of its own.
Is that one of her artworks? Got a feeling we're going to have a lot more questions than answers to start
a blue
with.
moon,
Oh.
fitting for a place haunted by its own secrets. Looks like the Countess left this for me. It could be useful for getting around the place.
Okay. I can now turn on the lantern, but how? There we go. Oh. Good to know. My lady, I would kindly ask that once the midday service is complete, you grant me a few moments of your time in the library. Your housekeeper, Joan Merver.
So, the housekeeper left a note for the Countess, asking her to meet here on the day of the murder. I wonder what truly happened during that encounter. Very well. Let's piece the events together, step by step. Looks like this is the Fordside family book.
Is it
showing some of their
Fordside or
ancestors.
Fordside? Because I swear they've said both. Okay. Oh, this is going to be a massive family tree, isn't it? Oh, that was weird.
Two chairs. one of them knocked over.
It's seriously been left like this for 20 years?
The housekeeper's cup is still here. Tea spilled across the table. She never got to drink it. An empty envelope. Did the housekeeper hand the Countess a letter? Looks like someone arranged tea in the library that day. Lipstick stains. Same shade the Countess wore when she visited my office. It seems they met here. But something went wrong during the conversation.
I am very angry. After all these years of service, this is how you repay me? Walking away like this?
I'm sorry, madam, but the situation has become unbearable. My bags are already packed.
Wow. Quick exit.
A globe resting in a beautiful wooden stand.
I'm sure we'll get more information on that later.
Another painting by Elodie. There's something deeply disturbing about her work.
Well, that's what was said in that letter.
The lock has been concealed. This
Aha.
door must open by some other means.
Interesting. Well, this is going to take a while. Because there's no clues as to the order, is there? Unless it was in that historical book.
The Fordside family crest, a rampant dragon, a time-honoured symbol across European heraldry, particularly among the English and the Welsh. A man with a prominent nose and a wandering soul, whose steps trace past what only blank maps had once lain. Devoted his life to naming the unimaginable jungles that swallowed expeditions, rivers that erased borders, and villages whose names only he remembered. His globe, now cracked by time and the salt of 1,000 seas, bears between its meridians the scars of a man who preferred to get lost rather than return. My question is, I don't think that's helpful. So is it literally a guessing game? The Countess threw the housekeeper out in a fit of rage. In her haste, the housekeeper forgot one of her bags. What was it that unsettled the housekeeper enough to abandon her post so suddenly? Lady Fort sighed, still seething, burned something in the fireplace.
My lady, I have reached a decision, though it weighs heavily upon my heart to sever the ties that have long bound me to this household. Since the reign of King William IV, my family has served Bloomsbury with unwavering loyalty and steadfastness, marked by discretion and a faithful execution of our duties. However, there are limits to all things, and as of late, this house has been frequented by certain individuals whose presence is wholly at odds with the principles to which my lineage is so devoted. It is no coincidence that our family motto is Oblatus, signifying something offered or consecrated. We are vessels of an ideal, the custodians of the most deep-rooted traditions and the bastions of the eternal values of our nation. This house has forsaken all of this, and you will know the reasons why. Please do not concern yourself. I, too, understand why you have allowed this. Rest assured, I do not judge you harshly, just as I hope you will understand my reasons. As my family says, Fausta. Wow.
The housekeeper resigned. Seems something, or someone, troubled her greatly.
That seemed
Enough
obvious
to
from the
break
other
long-standing
conversation, to be
family
fair.
tradition tying her to this place.
Right, now we need to get out this door, which is linked to this puzzle. Should we try the other door, see if we can find something in there first?
The door's chained up with a padlock. Looks
Aha.
like I need to find the key.
Cheeky monkeys. Okay. There's no clicking sound, so I can't go by audio. What am I missing? There's got to be a clue somewhere as to what we're doing here.